What is up, lead generation nation? It's Jason McLaughlin here. Today we're going to be talking about how to create a Google Ads account. You obviously need a Google Ads account in order to run Google Ads, right? So before we get into it, let's quickly dive into some quick facts. There are more than 3.5 billion searches every day on Google and more than 2 million websites on the Google Display Network. Obviously a very good way to advertise. If you listen to the ad fundamentals lecture I did, you'll realize that Google Ads works specifically well with people that are product and service aware and are ready to buy. So with that being said, let's dive into it. This is the link you want to go to, or you'll just Google Ads, right? So go ahead, grab this link, copy and paste, get started, right? We're going to do a setup wizard. Now, you usually do not want to do what Google's telling you to do 9 times out of 10, because they just want you to spend money. Remember that, they just want you to spend money. So for purposes of this, we're going to go down here and click switch to expert mode. So now that we've switched to expert mode, we're going to carry on going through like that. If you follow the wizard tutorial previously, they'll just get you to try run an ad with their prerequisite settings and stuff like that. Now, once you have done this, you will be able to also use things like keyword planner, etc., etc. Different things will obviously apply to different people. You can just read here, this is relatively fine, but what I usually do is create an account without a campaign. So if you go down here, you want to click create an account without a campaign. All right, so we can just get set up. Then you want to fill in your billing country. For this, let's say South Africa, the time zone. This is quite important. When you're filling in the time zone, you usually want to make sure it's correct, because it can affect ads and aspects like that. But I'll also be showing you how to create an account for all your clients. But for the purpose of this is just how to create a basic Google Ads campaign, right? You can select here, yes, send me performance tips, promotional offers, servers, and invasive, try new features. I usually I don't really want my inbox spam, so I say no. I hit submit, and then congrats, you're all done. Go over here and click explore account. All right, so now that you've done that, you will see you are in your dashboard. And this is the basics of it. Now note you have not set up your payment methods. We will need to set up payment methods before we carry on running the ads. But first things first, we're going to go about setting up auto tagging. But first things first, what is auto tagging? Why is it so important, right? So focusing on your campaign analytics is crucial to the success of any Google Ads campaign. You need to understand that. When you pay attention to your campaign, namely the analytics, you'll see how your campaigns and your keywords are generating clicks and conversions. So when you set up a campaign, you're going to see where clicks are coming from, what keywords people are clicking on, and stuff like that, and how we can optimize for that. Now, you need to track your campaigns in Google Analytics so Google can see this, so you can see and get this data. That is why it's so important. You need to see how your campaigns and keywords are generating clicks and conversions so we can capitalize on that, right? Google makes this possible through their feature known as auto tagging. Enabling auto tagging in your Google account makes Google append a parameter known as the GSLID or the GCLID, as some people call it, to your URL. So it's a little thing at the end of your URL that says when someone clicks on it, happens at the end of URL, and it basically says, hey, this was a conversion, or hey, this was that and that. There are other ways to track conversions, but for purposes of this basic tutorial on how to set up an ad account, this is how you're going to be doing it. I use personally CoreRail to track and stuff like that, right? Now, GSLID, or let me write it here, GSLID, okay? Google stands for the Google Click Identifier. That's all you need to remember. It's used by Google to help you know the keywords that drove the visitor to the website. So GSLID equals Sherlock Holmes in finding out what keywords drove you to what keyword drove what customer who did what action. So like you have Benny who clicked on a word and took no action, clicked on an ad and took no action, but then Sarah clicked on a word and bored. Google's going to know this, and you're going to be able to get this data and do stuff with the data, as we'll get to, right? And it also will show you the amount that people paid per that click and optimize off of that. Although geotagging is an optional feature in Google, it is recommended because it allows you to automatically add this parameter to your URL. The feature will let Google Analytics know the ad that the user is coming from. So as I said, when we click on something or when a customer clicks on it, we know where these people are coming from. You get this for Facebook ads, you get this for tracking ads. It's very helpful in setting up conversion, in getting your conversion rate optimization on point, because as a company, the data should guide you in your marketing endeavors, right? You're not going to go spend $1 million on Google ads when most of your customers are coming from Facebook. You're more than likely going to double down on Facebook and look for new avenues there and think aspects like that. Obviously, try Google ads out, but if Facebook's working, well, let's look at similar platforms like TikTok and things like that. The feature will let Google Analytics know that the ad, I said that is coming from. This helps in saving you from manually tagging your campaigns, which is a pain in the ass. It also prevents you from making an error and also helps you generate detailed Google Analytics reports, which I'll also be showing you guys to do that. So, how do we set it up or how do we enable it? I'll show you. All right, so we need to set up a dummy campaign so I can show you how to do this. So how do we do that now? We're gonna go over here and what's your campaign objective? Hit sales, right? Click continue, hit the button over here, search, okay? Go down here, click website visits, go continue. What you want to focus on, let's leave that as clicks for now. We can edit all this information later. Then you want to go down over here, click next, next, next. Go down to budgets here on the left. Just put in one. As I said, we're just setting up a dummy campaign so I can show you how to enable auto tracking. Click next. Then hit publish campaign. Don't worry about that. Click publish. Okay, so now you'll see we have our campaign published over here. All right, so once you've set up your dummy campaign, I want you to go up here and click on the Google Ads icon at the top here. Scroll down to settings on the left over here, push account settings, right? Then you will see right over here, it says geotagging, and I want you to change that to tag the URL that people are coming through my ad and click save. And then you have just turned on geotagging. And this will increase the efficiency of your ads by reducing errors and generating rich report. Auto tagging also has a lot of benefits to offer you, right? Auto tagging is one of the numerous benefits that you'll be able to enjoy when you're creating a Google Ads account and you're advertising with your account, right? After the implementation of these steps, you will start seeing information about your Google Ads traffic inside your Google Analytics within 24 hours of running the campaign, where they're coming from and what they're doing. This is a very important step, right? So just wrapping up, Google Ads is a system that is used for advertising products and services on Google. I'm sure everyone knows that. To advertise the products and services, you need to have your online account and website set up. So as you can see, it was very easy to sign up and create this account with the system, and we literally were able to do it within a few minutes. Once you logged into the account, I usually like setting this up before, so it's just over and done with. If you're running for clients, you obviously want to have your clients' details on file. 9 times out of 10 clients will usually have a Google Ads Google Ads account. They'll give you access to that already have this. If it doesn't, this is how you're going to set up the billing, right? So you're going to be inside here in your account settings. You're going to go up here to tools. You're going to click on billing and you're going to hit settings up here. And then from here, you'll be taken to the payment setups where you put in the card details, stuff like that. And that is how you will set up billing. It's relatively simple and quickly. You'll be setting up the payment profile, obviously, the account type, the credit card details, the address, aspects like that, the organization's name and things like that. So yeah, that's how you'll be doing that. And here are some important things to note. For every advertising cost that you or your Google Ads account accrues, it charges automatically to this payment method, right? That is quite important. So it's always best, or you need to make sure the client's card details are in here. You do not want to be in a situation where you got to deal with the client and they are like, you are paying for their ad spend and aspects like that. You also want to be very careful with how you set up. We'll go into this when you're setting up a campaign, how you set this all up, that it doesn't go over their ad spend and aspects like that, right? Billing threshold is that Google will look at your payment history and use that to determine what your billing threshold will be. And this is usually applicable for like existing accounts. If your account is new, the threshold will often be $500, which means your billing will be coming quite often. So every $500 it'll hit, they'll take money. $500 will hit, they'll take money. For bigger accounts, the threshold will be a lot bigger. So that's something to keep in mind as well when running ads. So you don't get a client phoning you, or you're running ads for yourself and, oh my word, $500 just went off my account. It's the Google ads, right? If your credit card has a limit, it's important to ensure that the credit card's limits are accommodating of you now running Google ads. You won't believe how many times we've run into this where there's a limit on the card or something like that. The ads are blocked, shut down, and we're losing out on sweet data and conversions and stuff like that. So if your credit card plan, let's say if your plan is to spend like $20,000 on ads, right, every month, but your limit is only $5,000, you need to get this adjusted to buy back different types of Google ads, how you can go about advertising your business or your client's business all on the front page of Google and letting Google take your money. And obviously we're going to be trying to avoid Google taking as much money as we can. So at the top here, so I've just done a search for emergency plumber. This is a VPN, VPS, virtual private server, whatever you want to call it, logged in to America. It is currently 1 a.m. in America now, so not all ads will be showing, but emergency ads tend to show all the time because emergencies happen all the time. At the top here, we have what are called Google Guarantee ads. I do not specialize in these ads. I've heard from a lot of people that they work really well for the first month or two and then they start tapering off. Just not something I'm interested in, especially as we try to build data in accounts. To be honest with you, I hope Google fixes that, but you've got to go through a bit of a verification process and aspects like that. What we're going to be focusing on here is right over here. These are the Google ads. These are usually 3-4 listings at the top, can be a lot more, that show people that are paying for these clicks. Now, obviously I'm not going to click on one of these, but hypothetically, if they knew what they were doing, it wouldn't just go to their home page, it would go to a specific landing page for the particular service, right? So that's what we're going to be focusing on here. And if we scroll down, we will have the Google business profile. This is where a lot of SEO comes into play, also very lucrative. As you can see, you have the ratings, reviews, etc., all over this particular area. This is logged in. These generally are obviously all search engine optimization bound. That is another service you can upsell, but that's a whole nother discussion for another day. And yeah, that's basically with regards to lead gen search ads. Another set of ads we can show you is the Google Search Network ads, right? Google Search Network ads are, let's find a blog. What would have it? Mom blog.
What's happening? Your mom is.
So Google Search Network ads are basically where people will retarget. Website owners allow you to show like a portion, advertise on their website, right? Let me quickly find one. Get out of this. You just type in one blog on my normal one. So as you can see over here, these are Google Search Network ads. I'm currently in the Philippines and I've been looking at banks here to open up a bank account, and these guys are hitting me with an ad here. So that basically works. I've been to a website before and now they're hitting me on my normal viewing history to be like, hey, remember us. So that's Google Search Network ads. It's also very lucrative way to make money. As you can see here, SEMrush, right? Yeah, aspects like that. Another form of ads that people use, you can use, is Google shopping ads. So say like, for instance, I type in microphone, right? That's not popping up. Let me go back here. Let's say I type in black tea throat. Okay. So as you can see here, these are Google ads, Google shopping ads. If I click on this will take me directly to the page. Usually you want to mix these with display ads and aspects like that. But those are the Google types of ads. Usually for the purposes of this course, I'm going to be talking mainly about Google ads that are used for lead gen and driving customers to your clients. They're usually the easiest to sell. Then another really easy form of Google ads to sell is Google shopping for e-com businesses, and that it's a no-brainer. I kind of just wanted to touch on the differences between ads before we get into it. So for the purposes of this, we're going to be focusing on a lead gen ad, and I kind of want to show you the difference between a good lead gen setup, a bad lead gen setup, and the difference between that and, let's say, e-com ads with regards to how they're getting customers and where you're going. So back to our example, I googled emergency plumber here. Here's an ad. Gonna cost these guys some money. That's just how it is. And this is a decent landing page, right? It has everything. Emergency plumber. Do you have a plumbing emergency? So this is actually quite a good landing page. They're addressing the exact keyword I typed in, which was emergency, right? What a lot of lead gen mom and pop shops do is that they will have one landing page for 10 ad sets or 10 campaigns of all the same stuff. When you're running lead gen ads, it's best to have a landing page per service. So for instance, we've got a client now, tree felling, right? He does tree felling, but he also does tree removal, because some companies cut the trees, but they do not remove the trees, right? Or stump removal, they don't do particular things. So we went and set up a landing page for each individual service, because people that are searching for this particular niche know this, and we address these points on each landing page. So for instance here, these guys, this would be a decent landing page. They have a call to action above the fold, meaning the fold is where the page ends here at the bottom. I'm trying to see, let me see if they're mobile optimized. So you do that by clicking right clicking, going to this little icon over here, clicking on that, and yeah, it seems to be mobile optimized. Yep, as you can see here, pretty well mobile optimized. These guys are just pushing to get the contact form in, which is really good. This would be an example of a very good landing page, right? If you scroll down, they have a whole bunch of their services and aspects like this. This thing's quite slow because I've logged into VBS. It's running a lot of other stuff in. So they got their services here, aspects like that. And it takes you here, the other landing page. Oh no, here's just a bit more about them. It takes you to the service page. This is an example of a good ad, right? This is how we will be setting up our ads. So if you're running, let's say, for a plumber, we would have one, let's say, for burst geysers, and that's what they're specializing in. Commercial, we'd have a landing page for commercial plumbing, residential plumbing, one for emergency plumbing. So we are basically taking different ad sets, campaigns, whatever, and matching them to different landing pages. And this drastically improves conversions, because a prospect that clicks on it, lands on it, is immediately, okay, this is what this is about, and this is what that is about. These guys are serious about it. You can only imagine someone types in plumber and doesn't get the info they need about when the plumber is open, compared to a landing page that says we are open 24/7 no matter when you need us, that someone else is going to be getting the call over you. Yeah, that's what I wanted to share here. Another thing I wanted to show you, can't really zoom in here, but here is the GCLD. This is that tracking I showed you how to set up earlier. That is going through here. All right, guys, so that is that for lead gen landing pages. Now I kind of want to show you with regards to e-commerce. So let's say I am wanting to buy men's socks. All right, so these are the Google ads. Google shopping ads. You can see guys are bidding a lot for you. If I was to go and click on one of them, it would take us directly to the store. So this is the landing page. So this is what I'm trying to drive home at, right? A lot of e-com places will also pay quite a bit to increase, and SaaS businesses to increase their general layout of the website with optimizations and stuff like that. So it takes me straight to the page where I can add to cart, any features about it, any pictures and aspects like that. For the purposes of this, we're going to be focusing on getting leads, because as I said, getting leads and running it for small businesses makes sense. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Bye.